So while a message of peace is important, is Pakistan really worthy of generosity by India despite facts and evidence against it? And importantly, why would an Indian Punjab minister, Navjot Sidhu, refer to these pro-Pakistan messages while the facts are clearly otherwise on the Kartarpur corridor? Let's debate and discuss. I'm joined by Lieutenant General retired Shankar Prasad as a defense analyst, and from across the border, I'm glad to have Sultan Ali. He's also a defense expert. I want to start with Lieutenant General Shankar Prasad. Why really blame Pakistan when our own ministers are going across the border and indulging with these pretentious attempts, which can be called a faux pas, but clearly he knows facts and yet is pretending with otherwise?
Look, we are not blaming Pakistan for anything except that they are perpetrating terrorism into India for over years. You've just narrated the entire historical events of the last 10 years. That's very clearly known, and so does my co-panelist from Pakistan know this. The problem is this particular minister unfortunately does not know the reality of the relation between India and Pakistan. If you've been following, and like all citizens
I'm sure
of
he
India,
knows, Lieutenant General Prasad. What makes you think Sidhu does not know of realities, considering he comes from the state of Punjab?
Yeah, that's precisely the point. He must understand that there is great threat of Khalistan being revived. And Khalistan is being revived by Pakistan because they're getting a good bashing across the line of control in Kashmir, and therefore they want to now restart insurgency in Punjab by once again raking up the issue of Khalistan. And this is something which Mr. Sidhu, being a minister, must definitely know. But unfortunately, he is so keen on his personal elevation in the political and diplomatic and international field that he doesn't care for what the realities of India-Pakistan relations are. The unfortunate part is that despite having been told by his own immediate chief minister and perhaps many others that this is the wrong time for him to go and do all kinds of things, first he goes and meets the chief of the army staff and backslaps him, then he goes to Kartarpur and makes a huge speech in an agenda, and finally what happens? The foreign minister of Pakistan says, there is a googly by Imran Khan,
Lieutenant General
and India has
Prasad,
played off to it.
Where is the Indian government? Why has the Indian government not been able to, the union government, not been able to really exercise their authority and claim credit for the efforts that they have been involved in for the past 20 years?
Well, the Indian government, actually, if you really go back to history, it is very unfortunate that Redcliffe, who made the line across the international border between India and Pakistan, did not see where the Gurdwaras are located. If unfortunately he had seen where the Gurdwaras are located, surely the line would have been different. Anyway, that's history, we can't change it. But the fact is this, that the government of India has been trying for many years to actually respect the sentiments of the Sikh religion, to respect the sentiments of Guru Nanak. All of us in India pray to Guru Nanak, whether it's Hindu, Christian, Muslim, Isai of India. We are a secular country. We all go to Amritsar, we all go to Gurdwaras, and therefore it is something that is unbelievable why we should be falling into this trap.
And to say that Pakistan has taken the initiative, Sultan Ali, now I'm all for peace between two nations, but can Pakistan really be receiving credit over this issue? Because Indian diplomats are not allowed to enter into the Gurdwaras. They are consistently humiliated, and then out of the blue Pakistan decides to announce and wants to take a high moral ground despite the situation of minorities in Pakistan. So what is happening there? I mean, do you think this is Imran Khan's gesture to ensure that the international isolation is gone and it can project a secular image?
Well, you have answered your own question partly. First of all, let us forget about taking credit. It's if we are not worried about who is getting the credit, whether it is Narendra Modi or Imran Khan, but who is going to benefit. I'm sure you know the Latin proverb, "Qui bono," who benefits. So it is the people of Punjab whom we call Sikhs. Now, I take exception to the comment by the general that Pakistan is trying to rake up Khalistan issue. We don't need to do that. You see, I'm sure you know your history better than me. The general was talking about the Radcliffe mission and all, but let me remind you about the Master Tara Singh and Nehru agreement, which was reached in 1959. And according to that, the Sikhs were supposed to be given their fair share, and their Gurdwara committees were supposed to be, not being interfered in, and so on. But what happened was that, and again, you know it better than me, that the Sikhs got infuriated. And what happened was the Golden Temple in 1984, the Operation Blue Star, and as a result of which...
Sultan Ali, if we talk about Pakistan here...
You lost your own Prime Minister.
No, my point is, if it is so respectful of the Sikh sentiments, why was there a pro-Khalistani individual with clearly Gopal Singh Chawla seemed to be ruling and interacting with army jawans? Then Pakistan should take a strong stand against even the Sikh extremists. It doesn't seem to be happening. Instead, it stops Indian diplomats, sir. Sultan Ali, first to you, then I'll go to Lieutenant General Prasad.
Okay. What I was trying to say is that we don't need to rake up any trouble. We have taken an initiative, but we don't want to announce it as a credit. In fact, I personally take...
Why now?
Listen. Please allow me. Why now? Because now we have a new government. The new government is free to take initiatives. It was for the Indian government to accept that initiative and to respond likewise, which it did, and I'm glad it did. But this is not the first action. This is not the first action. We are now also going to take,
but why is this initiative been taken?
Which will allow me, sir. Allow me to finish.
Okay, finish, sir. Yes.
Seconds.
Yes, sir. Finish your point.
It's good. Okay. Now we are going to take more actions in which we are going to allow the Hindus in Kashmir and also in Sindh, so that there is a parity, and it does not going to benefit only one community, but the communities which reside in the subcontinent. So I think we should not grudge that. We should not be looking into it, why we did this, or whether we are trying to rake up Khalistan or things like that. Instead, let's look for the greater benefit.
And this while anti-minority attacks continue in Pakistan. Lieutenant General Prasad, he does have a fair point.
Can I respond to him?
Yes, please respond. And my added question is, sir, it is a new government.
First of all,
can we give Imran Khan a benefit of doubt also here?
Yeah, I'll answer that question, but let me just respond to what Sultan Ali said. He talked about the Golden Temple in 1984. He must understand why it all started. It all started with the so-called Khalistan movement. You started insurgency, you started terrorism, and that had to be defeated. And that was part of that ongoing operation that had to be undertaken, very unfortunately. All of India is very sorry for that. Secondly, I must tell you that the large part of the Indian army consists of Sikh soldiers, and we have Sikh regiment, and they have been giving their blood and blood for this country and for the safety of this country. You know it very well. They are the finest regiments of the Indian army. And thirdly, let me tell you that while you are trying to play for the sentiments of our religion amongst the Sikh community, you have an agenda to once again rake up Khalistan, and I say it with all sincerity, with all the information that is available in public domain, both in your country and in our country. The fact is this, that the government of India is keen to go back to the Guru Nanak's temple and be able to pray there, not only Sikhs but all of Indians who want to go there.
Do you think Imran Khan can be given the credit, as Sidhu says,
using that opportunity
for opening this corridor?
No, you see, you are using this they're using this opportunity of pleasing the sentiments of Indian Sikhs by trying to do a Khalistan movement into it and perpetrating terrorism there. As far as Imran Khan's present position is concerned, did you notice the visuals that were coming out from the Gurdwara area?
Yes.
You had the Chief of the Army Staff overlooking his shoulder all the time. The Chief of the Army Staff, without any shadow of doubt, and so does Sultan Ali knows very well,
Indian diplomats are not allowed.
As far as the foreign policy.
Absolutely. Yes.
Therefore, how can we accept today that Imran Khan will be able to really extend a hand of friendship to India? It is something that the Pakistan army will not allow him to do. He'll allow him to do some photo issues, allow him to do something which will somehow please the international community.
It's very interesting, and I think I must mention this. Yes, Lieutenant General Prasad, yes, that in 1999, Pervez Musharraf had offered to begin and open the corridor, did not happen. In 2010, a resolution was passed by Punjab Assembly to allow access, push the Union government. Again in 2018, another resolution was passed, and Indian government through the UPA and now as well has been trying to raise the issue as well. And this time as well, it was Modi government that sent a letter to which a positive response came from Pakistan. So it was the Indian government pushing it. So my question to Sultan Ali is, does Pakistan intentionally invite leaders like Navjot Sidhu and promote him, knowing fairly well that he would be praising likely Imran Khan, Pakistan, and will not praise the Modi government, which works in favor of Pakistan? Sultan Ali.
Well, my dear, we gave a very fair opportunity. We invited Prime Minister Narendra Modi with due reference, and we also invited your External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj. But both of them, you see, you may be knowing the reasons better, but they declined. And they are the ones who sent not only Mr. Navjot Sidhu, but a number of other Sikh ministers, which of course is very nice of them. But to look into it deeper from our side, why is there a controversy in everything?
No, but I understand that it only works for Pakistan and you wouldn't mind it, but that's what I'm trying to understand, that how did Sidhu suddenly become the messiah and the messenger of peace? Because he's taking on the Modi government, he's taking on his own ministers and chief minister in the state, and that is probably something that Pakistan would love to have as somebody who can broker peace, when it's not between two individuals, it's between two governments. So why is one individual being pitched even by Pakistan?
Well, the answer to that is simple. Navjot Sidhu and Imran Khan, they have a 31-year-old friendship. And if, because of that friendship, something good has come about, I think it's remarkable. But then it is for your government to either control him, to channelize him, or whatever. That is your internal issue. But we look at it this way, that this was an opportunity, and this opportunity has been availed for the betterment of the people.
But this is something that definitely seems more to the eye than is happening. Lieutenant General Prasad, do you think we're talking about an ambitious Sidhu here? And I'm sure he means well if we go by how the corridor has opened. But how did he come to suddenly be in the center of attention when it was between two governments that the decision was taken? Do you think Sidhu deserves the credit for taking that trip? And is it because of him that this has happened, or is it ambition that he's working to his advantage?
First, let me make it very clear to my fellow panelists from Pakistan that he was not representing the government of India. He was neither sent by the central government nor by the state government. When he was advised by his own chief minister that he should not go, he said, I will revert back to you, and it's a personal matter. He never reverted back to the chief minister and took this plunge to go. The fact is simple. Sidhu is being made to play like a fool. He is being manipulated by Imran Khan's friendship with him.
Why do you say that?
Pakistan, ISI, and the Pakistan, because he just went there. He thought he's going to become a great guy. He's going to bring peace between India and Pakistan, not realizing the true problems, the actual problems between India and Pakistan as far as Khalistan and J&K are concerned. He doesn't seem to understand the relationship which is existing at the highest to the lowest.
But he's not that naive, sir. I mean, I'm sure he has enough experience as a sportsperson, as a politician to know exactly what he's doing.
I would say he's naive. He may be a very good cricketer, ma'am. He may be a very good sports fellow on the television to make people laugh. I don't want to use the word court jester, but that's what perhaps he needs. But if he's the only fellow who's going to be talking on television and making people laugh, well, I'm afraid he doesn't have anything known about foreign policy of India and the dynamics of India-Pakistan relationship. So this is something that he must know. He's educated, he's a minister, he's been in BJP, he's been in the Congress. The least you could have known is the relationships existing and the intelligence reports that are currently available.
Sultan Ali, my final closing comment is to you,
because hoping to become one day the Prime Minister of India.
Yes, we appreciate how the relations are going to ease, and maybe Sidhu can help in that. But do you think this is also about Imran Khan and Narendra Modi? It is about two governments coming together, and Pakistan is of course trying to use it to advantage, whether it is referendum 2020 of Khalistan or probably to show its own secular image, considering it's been grey listed by the Financial Action Task Force and other issues of nurturing terror. So, Sultan Ali, closing comment.
Yeah. Closing comment is that, you see, I am neither the spokesperson for the government of Pakistan nor of the Pakistan Army, but I would like to give my opinion as an independent analyst that I look upon it as a great opportunity, and I think Narendra Modi also create history. Of course, you're going to have elections next year,
Okay.
and we can only wish that the people of India get the leader that they vote for. But we hope that now that we have a new leader who is going to be here for hopefully another 5 years, we will see better relations, because this region needs peace very badly, and I personally would pray for peace.
Well, definitely the subcontinent deserves to have peace restored, especially across the border. Thank you so much, Lieutenant General Retired Shankar Prasad and Sultan Ali. But the question is, can Pakistan be trusted yet another this time? And can it be allowed to take a high moral ground over the Kartarpur corridor? Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned. News and updates continue on the other side.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you will love to.